sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Tennessee Titans. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Jackson. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Draw play. This is Henry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Henry. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Tannehill. Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time they coughed it up. led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Flushed out right. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Titans are going to have it here at their own 15. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd down, here's Henry. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first down.
Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. Tannehill now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Tannehill. eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. Well, this defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Offense set at the line for this next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
At the 26-yard line.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position, but as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Now Jackson on first down. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Henry. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Second down and goal. Tannehill toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Escaping the pressure right to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Still 9 remaining on second down. Now it's Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
This is taken at the 15. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They'll go option on second down, right side. And Tannehill's got the first as he slides to a halt. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Running the jet sweep with Jones. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A 3rd field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Running from the gun with Henry. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Derrick Henry. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Here's Tannehill. Open man, Julio. Touchdown, Tennessee. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now stands at 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Malik Collins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
1:55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Off play action, Tannehill. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Tannehill. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And it's a Titans touchdown. Julio Jones. As the first half is winding down. And the Titans will extend their lead here just before halftime. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.